All right. All right, folks. How are you, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to this episode of Rickcast. I don't know why Oh, looks like my camera decided to die right as we started the show. So, the perks of being on the road, ladies and gentlemen. I hope everybody's having a great Wednesday. Let me see if I can fix this real quick. Probably can't. But yeah, I thought this camera was going to work, but it is not. So I apologize once again. I mean, people don't tell you the difficulties of streaming on the road and what's going on with all of that. So let's see. You will see me in three. I mean, that's either a good or a bad thing, depending on who you are. But let's see here. And start cam. Beep, beep, beep. There I am. Hey, I'm back. And most of you are like, oh, but that's okay. Welcome to Rickcast. It is April 16th, 2024. It's the last live stream of this show before Easter. Yes, I know the crazy thing is you pay for these money for all these cameras and everything. And most of us could just stream from our phones and they would work a lot better. I should have just done that anyway. Anyway, last show of the week before the Easter break, because unlike some other Catholics, yes, I'm going to take this shot at them who want to sit back and tell you all about Catholicism. They won't preach it. I bet you 2 to 1, you're going to have a ton of Catholic influencers streaming on Holy Thursday, the day that we instituted the Mass and the Holy Eucharist, but they're going to make sure they live stream for views and clicks. So just mark it down. Anyway, enough of that. We're going to have a good show. I didn't want to go 2 days in a row without one, especially since we're going to take 2 days off and then we'll be back on that Monday. By the way, in case anybody is noticing, this is the beautiful Hampton Inn Cup. You only get one of these if you stay here. I know I can feel your jealousy through the camera, but we have a good show. I do. We're going to touch on some stuff before we get out of here. And we're going to talk about how the Senator Chris Van Hollen, I think that's his name, tried to do one of the AOC, how AOC went to the border and then she was in front of the cages and she was crying. And it was a great viral moment. Senator Chris Van Hollen decided he was just going to go to El Salvador. I'm just going to go to El Salvador and see what happens. And he got denied because whatever you think about El Salvador, they don't play with the same kind of nonsense that we are. They're not subject to the same nonsensical rules that the U.S. is. So it's kind of funny. You say whatever you want. It is a little bit funny in that regard. And then we're going to talk really, I have 2 stories to kind of wrap around this Trump wanting to send U.S. citizens to El Salvador. This is in light of the U.S. citizen that was sent, Abrego Garcia. Sorry, Abrego, if I'm not saying your name correctly. But in light of him being sent, and now Trump has floated. We talked about this on Monday. Trump is talking about wanting to send more U.S. citizens to El Salvador. We got the courts weighing in. We've got people weighing in. Pam Bondi, Law and Bunny Bondi's weighing in. All of these people are weighing in. So that's going to take up the bulk of our time. And then I have a quick entertainment story towards the end of the show. How L.A., once the land of movie making, has experienced a huge decline in on-site Hollywood productions, and that's just a result of movies being too expensive to make in LA and the fact that you have unions and all these other things, and you can just go to Vancouver or Croatia or literally Britain. Great Britain has some famous studios over there that their movie making lots, and they also offer some pretty legit tax credits when it comes to filmmaking. So we'll talk a little about that. And then I will say goodbye to you guys. Wish you a blessed Easter. And I'll talk to you on Easter Monday from whereabouts unknown. It may be in another hotel. Who knows? We'll see. A lot of traveling. Rickcast is going to be on the road for the next couple weeks. So I hope you like this view because I'll be staying at Hampton Inns as well because I'm a Hampton Inn guy. If this show ever gets big, probably won't. Maybe we could look at the Hampton Inn as a potential sponsor. I could definitely get behind that. All right. Anyway, enough on that nonsense. I got a couple hot takes for you. I got a great hot take. I have a fantastic one, but we're gonna do the first one here. This is from Fox 40. Easter Monday could soon become a federal holiday under new GOP proposal. Now, of course, everybody loves a federal holiday, even if they don't agree with the reason for it, because then they don't have to work, especially if you're a banker or you're or a teacher or anything else of the sort. No, news from the pews not live, Lou. Unfortunately, I told Steve that I just couldn't. I'm exhausted from having to do these conferences and stuff. So the news from the pew is just a report. It's not a live show. So you can watch it after, or you can watch this after, Lou. Whichever one. I respect you enough as a loyal bar rat that whichever way you want to do it, I'm fine with. But there's no news from the pew. It's premiering. Lou, I say this with all sincerity. I love you. If you watch this show later, I'm cool with that. If you want to watch news from the pew first, that's cool. I'm not gonna hate you any less because if you watch both, then that works for me. It does. And gosh darn it, Steve, why would you do it now? I love Steve. I think he's doing that as a joke. You know how Steve is. He does it to rib people. Anyway, we'll go to this first story. Easter Monday could become a federal holiday under new GOP proposal. Let me know if the air conditioning is too loud. I'll turn it off. And everybody loves federal holidays, but this could be one for, Christians, Catholics. Ahead of Easter and amid bird flu. Don't know what that has to do with anything, Fox 40, but thank you. Easter Mondays could soon be a federal holiday under a But now, why is all my equipment just dying? How about now? We good? Thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs up, thumbs down. I don't know why my UP everything is just falling apart. Let me know. I should be good. Yeah, maybe. Give me 2 seconds. Let me turn off this air conditioning because it might be running interference. 2 seconds. What are you doing? All right, ladies and gentlemen, turn it up, turn it up to 11. So this Eric Schmidt is saying that 81% of people say they celebrate Easter. Now it sounds like Eric is saying that they celebrate the holiday, the secularized holiday that is happening here, and I don't know if I'm really happy with him using that as a baseline. But hey, whatever. Um, this isn't a radical idea. It's a federally recognized. It's a federal recognition of a tradition that is central to Western civilization, a tradition that already is recognized as a public holiday in nations across and beyond the West, including Canada, Australia, New Zealand, and most of Western Europe. So if Canada has the holiday, we absolutely need to have the holiday because forget these people. Nobody out America's America in that regard. So yes, that's right. And that's a great point, Brian, that Brian brings up. Do you celebrate Easter or do you celebrate the resurrection? Because a lot of people, we say it's Easter Sunday, but Easter, like Christmas, has been co-opted by the retail industry and all these other things to push like chocolate candy and all this other kind of nonsense. So which is why you'll see people say Happy Easter and there'll be a bunny next to it. Easter is not about a bunny, so we can stop that. Easter is a floating holiday. It can fall from March 22nd to April 25th. The only 2-month gap in our federal holiday calendar is April and May. An Easter Monday holiday fills the gap, creating a 3-day weekend when workers and families need it most. Pro-worker, pro-family, pro-faith. So wait, is Eric Schmidt, a Republican, arguing that federal workers need, and I quote, more time off? More time off? The only day they don't get a holiday is April and May. Oh my gosh. So let's create another federal holiday so the people at the DMV don't have to work as much. Like, this dude is getting it all wrong. The first one was, hey, people shop. It's a huge day because of the industry, and the federal workers need the day off.